Good morning, my dear students. Dear students, today we are moving to the seventh chapter of geography, and the name of the chapter is Lifelines of National Economy. In this chapter, see, when we are discussing about the different type of goods and services that we are using in our day-to-day life. See, some of the items, like it can be services or it can be different type of the goods that may be available in our nearby areas. But there are different type of the items are there, different type of things materials are there which is not available in our premises, in our surroundings. Then the supply of these different type items, it may be taking place in some particular areas, and its demand may be in some another areas. So here very one important point is there, that is the transportation of these items. See, imagine that means when we were discussing about the previous chapter of geography, there we have discussed about the minerals, different type of minerals and manufacturing that we discussed. Then see, its mining is taking place. See, we are mining, extracting and extracting and extracting the minerals. There is no use of that. See, one very important point is that we have to transport these extracted minerals to some places where we are converting these items into finished product. Okay, we have converted these items into the raw materials. Different, it can be minerals, otherwise it can be some agro related materials. Imagine this raw material we converted into the form of a finished product. There also it is not over. See, in all the people, those who are only in the nearby areas of that manufacturing unit, they are not only the demanded, they are not only the users of this particular item. Means people from far off place, they also may be in demand of this particular item. Then what we have to do? We have to transport these finished items to those people who are in need, who are in demand of this finished product. So, see, when we are considering this, just 2-3 steps only I said, means there may be again many steps may be there. See, I just said extraction of, otherwise production of some raw material is taking place. Then from that point we have transported to the manufacturing sector. Then from there means this converted, otherwise this item we are transporting to the usage of that particular product. Then children, here how these things are taking place, there one important factor is there, that is transportation. Okay, so in this chapter we are discussing about the lifelines of the economy, and this we are considering as a trading, otherwise transportation, where the supply is taking place. From there we are transporting these items. It can be raw material, it can be finished product, it can be some other supporting items. Anyway, the transportation, that is one of the important factor when we are considering about the economy. That we are calling it as the lifelines, that is the life. See, simply the production is taking place in one place, there is no sense in that. Otherwise many people, otherwise there is a good demand for some items, then also no use of that. When the supply is otherwise when these items that is reaching to those people who are in demand, then only the proper utilization, then only the original result we are getting. So that is known as this, that is the importance of this transportation. Then children, don't think that we are only transportation of the items are taking place. No, services also. Okay, services are the transport, that also we are considering. So like it may be the transportation of the items, otherwise we the human beings, we the normal people, we may be traveling from one place to another place. It can be by the roadways or railways, whatever it is, waterways also, airways. So all these things are coming in this topic. So children, already you in very small classes, junior classes, you have studied that broadly we can classify the transportation into three categories. Okay, broadly we are able to, we are classifying them into three categories. First one is land transportation, then waterways are there and airways are also there. Then when we are discussing about the land transportation, see there in the case of land transportation, broadly three subdivisions are there. First one is, that is roadways, then railways, and the last one is pipelines. Okay, roadways, railways and pipelines. Then about the waterways, when we are discussing about the waterways, there inland transportation is there and overseas transportation is there. Then come to the air. Okay, airways, when we are when we are discussing in detail, they are domestic transport, domestic is there, then domestic and international is there. In the case of this domestic, in case of domestic, two classification is there. There some public undertakings are there and private airlines are also there. Then international, second classification, that is international airlines. So this is the broad classification. The same that diagram, it is given in your this same flow chart, it is given in the book also. Now students, today's video we are just focusing to the first part, that is about the land transportation. There, as I told you, roadways, railways and pipelines we are discussing in detail. Then students, the first portion of this chapter, here we are discussing about the importance of roadways when we are when we are discussing about the when we are comparing the railways and pipelines. See, otherwise pipelines we are that is only for the transportation of the some of the items only. When we are comparing this roadways and railways, then also we are able to experience that when we are normal life, when we are considering roadways, that is little bit more important. Okay, some more importance normally we are giving to the roadways. There are some reasons. See, question may ask like that. It means why? What are the different reasons that the domination of this otherwise importance of roadways that is more? The reasons that is given. First one is construction cost of the road is much lower than that of the railway lines. That is the first point. See, it is like when they are preparing the railway line tracks, means it is having some limitations, like to construct in the hilly areas, otherwise low-lying land, means some difficulties they are facing. Otherwise, to construct a bridge above the sea, rivers, means actually comparatively cost is more. And but it means that if the government or authorities wanted to prepare the road ways, means actually that is easy for them. Comparatively cost that is less, means they are according according to the area wise, like they are able to construct that roads. So first point is construction of the road that is comparatively cheap. Okay, then the second point, the same like related with that first point only, road can traverse comparatively more dissected and undulating topography. Means actually if like highlands, very low land, they are also easy to construct the road. For roadways we are discussing, okay, comparing with the railway tracks. Roads can negotiate higher gradients of slopes, as such can traverse mountains such as the Himalayas. See, when we are considering about the areas very high altitude, means those places when we are considering, there also means it is easy. See, whether it is possible to prepare a railway track or road line which is easy. Okay. Then again, when we are considering that, means if the people, those who are traveling at a small distance, otherwise even door services also, like means actually if you are traveling from Jotwada to Ambavadi or something like that, otherwise to the sea scheme. So like that means otherwise if we are moving from here to a particular place, means actually everywhere we will not get the stoppage for the railway lines and all. Otherwise a small distance which is easy, so many benefits are there when we are considering the roadways. So more like we can say that it means for our day-to-day life when we are considering more number, otherwise more amount of the people, we are very commonly depending the roadways, road transportation. Okay, then students, when we are considering the roads of India on the basis of the capacity, this roads of the India, we are broadly classified into 6 categories. The first one is that is golden quadrilateral super highways. Second one is national highways. Then state highways are there. Then district roads are there. Then other roads like the roads which is connecting the village area to any town or something like that, means other roads are there, and border roads are there. So once again I am repeating, on the basis of the capacity, the roads of India we can broadly classify into 6 groups. First one, that is golden quadrilateral. Second one is that is national highways. Then state highways. Then district roads. Then the next is other roads, like from the roads which are connecting village areas to the nearby towns or district. Then border roads. That is the classification on the basis of capacity. Then one more classification in a simple way we can say, that is how they have prepared, like metalled and unmetalled, that in the junior classes you have studied. Okay, metalled means actually that will be that we are able to use at all the seasons, all the weather situations we can use, and unmetalled, that all of you know that. Then next we will have a detailed discussion about the 6 classification of the roads. First one, that is golden quadrilateral. Then students, this is a project prepared by the National Highway Authority of India, and it includes two main projects. This golden quadrilateral, in that means two parts are there. First one is the highway, 6-lane highway, which is connecting the important cities of India like Delhi, then Kolkata, then Chennai, then the next is Bombay. Okay, these places means it is connecting. Okay, these it is a 6-lane. They planned for a 6-lane, means a highway. So what is the most important aim? Means actually, like as just now I told, these are the important business centers. These are the important cities of the India. So if we are able to, if those who are dealing with any business activities, otherwise those who wanted to transport their any items, so as earlier, means like at a reduced time, if at a less time we are able to travel between these cities. Okay, so by keeping that aim in the mind, this line, this 6-lane, they are prepared. Then the next one is next is north-south corridor. North-south corridor, which is linking Srinagar of Jammu and Kashmir to Kanyakumari of Tamil Nadu. That is north. There means actually Srinagar is main city. From this line, north-south corridor means that is connecting Srinagar and Kanyakumari. And the next one is that is east-south. East and west corridor. East means there it is connecting the two cities, means like from the east, Silchar of Assam, and next is Porbandar of Gujarat. So two, like once again I am repeating, one is a 6-lane which is connecting Delhi, Calcutta, then Chennai and Bombay, that is 160. And next part of this golden quadrilateral, that is first one is north-south corridor. North-south corridor means actually which are the two important destinations. One is Srinagar and next is Kanyakumari. Then east-west. East side Silchar of Assam and next is western side, that is Porbandar of Gujarat. Okay students. Next is about national highways. National highways here means that is a common, like all of you, most of you have rough idea about that. In this case, national highway, that is the construction and maintenance, everything that is made by Central Public Work Department. Okay. Then here means actually national highway, that is connecting all the important cities and different states. When we are considering the important cities of all these states and capitals, means it is connecting that. Then next is state highways. State highway, it is connecting the state capitals with all the district headquarters, otherwise all the important cities of a particular state, and that is the state highways that is managed, maintained and constructed and maintained by the Public Work Department of that particular state. Then the next is district roads. District road means most of the, otherwise all the districts, it is having a headquarter, and the headquarter will be connected with the other important places of that particular district. Then next is other roads. Other roads means actually already I told you, means village and rural areas. When we are connecting, means it is very important that the villages and the rural areas, it should be connected with the nearby towns and the important district of, like important places of that particular district by a all seasonal road. Means it should not be like a kacha road, means a proper metalled road. So it is coming in the category of other roads. And for maintaining and constructing these type of the roads and for the maintenance of these particular roads, means nowadays the Pradhan Mantri Gramin Sadak Yojana, means that is a project developed by the central government, means it is coming in the it is the responsibility of, otherwise the construction and maintenance of these roads mainly coming in this particular yojana. And next is border roads. when we are considering about border roads, see, it is mainly managed by a central government unit, otherwise organization, that is border roads organization. Okay, border roads organization, which is a central government like organization. It is the responsibility of these roads to manage the matters related with the border roads. When we are discussing about this, main part of that, it is coming in the northern frontier and northeastern frontier side. And here means actually it is seen that, otherwise observed that these roads, that is very helpful even for the different type of trade relations also, and also for related with the border areas. Then about railways. So I hope it is clear about the roadways. Roadways, firstly we discussed about importance of the roadways, why it is for when we are considering our day-to-day life, why it is important. Then two type of the classification of the roads we said. First one, that is on the basis of the capacity. 6 classification we discussed. Then on the basis of the type of the material used, that is metal and unmetaled. Okay, now the road railways. Railways, see, we cannot say that means only roadways are important for a transportation. No, railways depends upon the situation, we can say. If we wanted to travel to from the north we are going to south, means all the people cannot afford the air fare and all. So normal people, middle income people, or that people means sometimes we will be depending the railways. Number of the people means more people, they are depending the railways. Otherwise some particular places, when we are going pilgrimage type, like many more number of the people, like if it is a group like people, they are traveling, so very often we are depending the very commonly we are depending the railway transportation. Then here page number 82, here this last paragraph, it is very important. This paragraph is discussing that, see, development of railways of a particular place, it is depending upon different factors are there, like its physiographic, it can be, otherwise geographical characters matters, economical industries, in number of the industries, otherwise how much economic overall development is taking place. That is a matter which is depending the development of railway lines on a particular place. Otherwise we can say what we are saying, density of the people, that is also a matter which is depending the development of railways. So some factors are there. There are some factors which is influencing the development of railway lines in a particular place. So this paragraph is very important. See, imagine that if it is a hilly area, already previous point I told you, if it is a hilly area, otherwise if it is a low-lying area, too much when we are comments like what we are saying, if the population is very less, otherwise if comparatively the number of the industries are more, means too much amount of the raw material production is there, otherwise more number of the industries are there in a particular place. So all these factors are influencing the development of railway lines of a particular areas. Then also it is discussing about that, means there may be some obstacles also, like when they are thinking about the construction, hilly, that otherwise this if they presence of the rivers, if more number of water bodies are there, then all these places they wanted to think about constructing the over bridges. So these type of the points are there. Otherwise, if the population is very less, then only on the basis of that they may be making the lines. Okay, these are the points. Then students, next we are moving to the point of pipelines. Here pipelines means actually it is, we can say that this pipeline transport, that is a network, is this it is a new like a idea came in related with the transportation. Then these pipelines mainly they were using for the transportation of but we are saying water. It means when they introduced this idea of pipelines, it was using for the transportation of the water to the city side. But recently, nowadays, we are able to see that even for the transportation of the crude oil, then different type of the petroleum products, natural gas for to the thermal power stations. So these ways also, like different other new dimensions of transportation through the pipelines also these days we are able to experience. Means once again I am saying, means when the idea of pipelines introduced, firstly means commonly it was using for the transportation of water to the city side for the residents of that locality. But nowadays for the transportation of crude oil, otherwise different type of the petroleum products and natural gas to different destinations, these days this method is commonly using. And also like some of the solids that we can, if we are able to convert into the form of slurry, if we are able to convert those type of the solids are also transporting these days with the help of these pipelines. Now the next point, it is students, we are discussing about the next students, it is discussing this topic, it is discussing about three important network of pipelines, pipeline transportation of our country. It is given in page number 83. Here it is given. First one is that is the transportation from the oil field of Assam to Kanpur of UP, and the second one is from the Salaya in Gujarat to Jalandhar in Punjab. They are supplying the crude oil. And the last one is gas pipeline from Hazira in Gujarat, which is connected to Jagdishpur in UP. So these are the three important network of the pipelines of our country. Means here it is about the, means like important three. So once again I am repeating, pipelines before it was using for the transportation of the water, but nowadays like industrial purposes also we are using, means that is very much helpful. Only for the installation of this pipelines it may be little bit costly, but once if they have done the basic, like if they once they have installed the pipelines, then the next after that it is not that much costly. Okay students, so by this I am ending. I think I have crossed the 30 minute, but still okay, all of you, any doubt is there, please you can ask it to me. Okay students, have a nice day.